Good afternoon and welcome to Cobb TV. Joining us today in the studio is Chairman Mike Boyce. Chairman, pleasure to have you again.
It's good to be back again. Thank you, Sherry.
Yesterday we had a long day of extensive meetings.
Yes.
We had an extensive work session where we covered a lot of ground, and we had your first evening Board of Commission meeting last night. Why don't you tell our viewers what we covered and what we accomplished yesterday, and what was your reaction to your first series of meetings?
Well, thank you. I think it's important to first of all emphasize that we had two meetings that covered 12 hours in 2 days, and we covered a significant amount of issues that are important to Cobb that shows the voters and residents of Cobb that we're continuing to move ahead. Clearly, the one that got the most attention in the media was the one on the $14 million for commitments we made to the Braves coming out of the gate into back November 2013. And I called it a loose end because we're less than 90 days away from the Braves opening. I want to make sure that everybody understands that our partnership with the Braves is a good faith partnership, that we're both working in tandem to a common goal. But in the process of a large magnitude enterprise like this, which is over $350 million, sometimes things fall through the cracks. And it was my perception that this is one of those things that had not come to a contractual closure yet as to what it was that $14 million was going to purchase. And as I asked around, there was some confusion on many levels, so I decided to bring that into the agenda so both the commissioners could hear what the various perspectives were, but more importantly, so the voters themselves could see that this is an issue that involves their money. Now, I think it's important to emphasize again that this $14 million is not brand new money. This is money that from day one was committed as part of our partnership with the Braves to build the stadium. Where the money is going to come from, we have identified the funding for that. So the question is, we want to make sure that whatever we use that $14 million for is a legitimate purchase. So the county manager yesterday gave his presentation, the Braves came and gave their presentation, and I think from yesterday we now have a list where both the county manager and the Braves, since the county manager is our representative with the Braves, can sit down and talk about that list with the lawyer to see which of those proposals by the Braves are that meet the letter and law of the development agreement. And so that will happen over the next couple of weeks. We'll come to closure on it. We'll finish that part. It'll help make sure that we successfully open up on the 14th of April for opening day. And it closes that one aspect of which there's some other loose ends out there too, like for instance, the circulator bus. And again, these are things that are important to me because I want to make sure that there's no misunderstanding that the county has not done every single thing it can under both its contractual obligations, but also in the spirit of the enterprise, that we've done everything we possibly can to make this a successful enterprise.
Great.
The other couple, there were a number of SPLOST projects that were passed yesterday up in Kennesaw and Ackworth, health centers, senior centers. We have a lot of projects on the floor right now. And so that took up a large part of our meetings to make sure that, again, we're spending SPLOST dollars, which is taxpayer dollars, in a way that is appropriate and reflects fiscal responsibility. I'm bringing in a new budget process. I want to make sure that your commissioners are involved in every single aspect of how we spend your money. So what I've done is, working with the county manager, is that instead of compressing all the budget discussions towards the end of the fiscal year, I'm going to spread them out over the year. Every commissioner is going to be involved with a respective functional area like public safety or transportation. They will work in concert with that area, with that director, to bring that part of the budget to the floor, to the board, to be addressed over probably a 7-month period. So when we get to the summertime, there's a lot more time to consider how we're going to close that budget, because we've been working on it for 7 or 8 months instead of only 3 months. That's all part of my bigger effort to make sure the commissioners, your commissioners, are kept informed about all the issues that are going on in this county. This is a county of 740,000 people, a budget of over $800 million. There's lots of moving pieces. There's only 4 commissioners. They're part-time, but they officially are part-time. They're working a full-time job. but there's a lot of information, and I'm just trying to find the most efficient way to get information in front of them so that when it comes time for our board meetings, they can make an informed decision. I've got a new vice chairman in Commissioner Cupid from District 4. She'll be working with me on a weekly basis with the county manager to develop the agenda now, and we will probably have to tweak the agenda development process a little bit to make sure that all the commissioners know what's on the agenda before we put it forth to go to print. There's been some things falling through the crack where the agenda is presented and some of the commissioners didn't know about some of the topics, but that's because of the time constraints around how we develop it. So we're addressing that. So the whole thing here is to try and make a government which is already very lean, staffed by people who are working very hard. But again, there's only 24 hours a day, there's only 7 days in a week, and yet our responsibilities and demands increase on a daily basis. So we have to find a way of presenting information on a more timely and efficient manner to not just the commissioners, but also to the board. So again, this has been a very, very busy week. This train is rolling. It's rolling real fast. And that's all to be expected because I know that there are a lot of things that were stacked up behind a dam waiting for me to come to office and make decisions on. Well, I'm in office now, that dam is broken, the water's flowing through, and in that water are lots of programs and projects that have been waiting in the wings for 3 or 4 months to get dealt with. We're dealing with them now. So I'm hoping this pace will slow down, but I'm not making any promises.
Speaking of that, you named a new assistant yesterday.
I did, yes. Bring up a great point. Today is Wednesday, it's the middle of the week when we're doing this session. I have been in constant meetings since Monday morning. All day Monday, all day Tuesday, late into Tuesday night. The session did end to almost 11 o'clock Tuesday night. And then I have my boards that I was at all today. Somewhere in there, I still have to have time to address emails. But more importantly, what I'm missing out here is I'm not getting out and touching with my base. I'm not having a chance to talk to the voters, which is how I got elected to office. So I realized very early that there's a lot of important things that we need to do here, but if you expect me to do them all by myself, eventually I'm going to be completely out of touch with the people out here in Cobb County. So I asked the board last night to appoint a chairman's assistant for special projects. He will not have any directive authority. He's simply an advisor, where he's going to be looking at special issues that I think are important to move this county forward. He's going to be once County Manager Hankerson gives up his job as the county rep for the Braves after the Braves open up, Mr. Hankerson will fall into that role because we still need to stay in contact with our business partner, because that's what they are, they're a business partner, on a regular basis to make sure that there's no issues out there not settled. He'll be working with the Cobb delegation to make sure what happens down in the Gold Dome, if it has any impact on our county, he's aware of that by talking to the delegation. He's going to be implementing the update for the strategic plan. He's going to be working with other commissioners on some of their pet projects, like, for instance, in District 3, Commissioner Burrow's Canton Road neighbors and her Canton redevelopment zone there. We have lots of big issues going on in the county right now, and he's going to help me to make sure that I stay in touch with those, and also be out there talking to people. So when he can tell me what he's hearing, and if I need to redirect some of my time and priorities to other areas, he'll help me with that effort too.
Well, he was introduced last night. His name is Michael Murphy.
Yes, he is.
And when will he be starting?
The 1st of February.
Okay.
Not soon enough.
Very good. Was there anything else you'd like to add to this week's update?
No, it's just sort of piggyback when I said last night at my closing remarks. I'm just really, really delighted at what we've accomplished. I cannot say enough good things about my relationship with the commissioners right now. I've simply found that as long as you keep them informed and you treat them with the respect that they should be accorded by being an elected official, they will respond to what you're trying to do. And of course, the staff has been magnificent. We truly live in the best county in America with the best staff, led by really dedicated, professional, caring commissioners, and I'm glad to be part of that team.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
All right. Well, welcome. I look forward to it.
All right, thank you.